I know, speaking with Dan, many from immediate family have some things they would like to share. And I'd like to invite anyone from the family who would like to share at this time. But please come forward and to share up front as you're led. You can take your mask off when you're at the mic. Makes it much easier to hear. Amen. God bless you. God bless you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Annie Seda, and I'm Jay's wife. And Jay is Archie and Russ's son-in-law. And although I've only known them about 10 years, I would like to say that they always welcomed me with open arms, which I know could not have been easy, as did the whole family. And in the last year or so, I was fortunate enough to be able to spend some real quality time with Mom and Dad. We had fun, we had laughs, and I'm very, very grateful for that experience. And I'm honored to be able to read this note that Mom left for Dad. So here it is. To my dear husband of 71 years, I miss you so much, sweetheart, and I just can't believe you've left me and are with all of our loved ones, waiting for you with open arms. How fortunate you all are, and I will be waiting anxiously to be with you as soon as possible. Please know I will love you forever, and as soon as you can open the doors of heaven, I will be anxious to join you all. God has arranged for us to meet, and He planned for us to be together for these 71 years of marriage. There were 3 in our marriage, God, you, and me. And I look forward to joining you as soon as I can. Love you, sweetheart. You are the love of my life, and I'm sure I was the love of your life. Love you forever, sweetheart. Your Archie.
Hello, I'm Jason Tomczak. I'm husband to Gina, grandfather of Russ. I've known Papa and little Papa and baby Papa. And he is, such a wonderful, wonderful man. You could just tell the love he shared for his entire family, his wife, and everyone. I'm going to be reading today Uncle Dan's words for his father. My dad could do anything. He built an in-ground pool when I was 5 years old. He ran all the piping, laid all the cinder blocks, and finished all the poured concrete. My dad made his own sand pool filter. Made our diving board too. The pool lasted over 40 years before he had it resurfaced. My dad remodeled our entire Riverside house, including the brickwork for the finished basement fireplace. My dad was never afraid of heights and always volunteered to paint the boiler stacks at the Burlington Fossil Station when he worked for PSE&G by rigging up his own boxwing chair. My dad got his small plane pilot's license when I was young. My mom was concerned with all the local plane crashes at the time and talked my dad into giving up his license. My dad was always interested in real estate and had a house built in the Poconos, 2 condos built in Ocean City, and 2 condos built in Cape Coral, Florida, on a canal. After retirement, both my parents enjoyed winter months as snowbirds for over 30 years. I was fortunate to enjoy hunting, fishing, boating, canoeing, clamming, snowmobiling, dirt bike riding, and so much more. My dad showed me how to treat people, how to open doors for people, especially women, and how to walk on the curbside when walking with your girlfriends. I could go on and on. I'll never forget how fortunate I've been raised to be raised by both of my parents. I've been truly blessed.
I'm Jan Tomachek. I'm the granddaughter of Tiny Papa. He's up here, so if I can't finish, you will. I have so many wonderful memories of my Papa. When I was young, I remember picking blueberries and Poconos, canoeing on the lake, and a very eventful skiing trip. I apologize again to Uncle Will for the concussion. He was such a fun-loving, happy grandfather. He always had a joke in his pocket or a wooden puzzle that he made with his own hands. Heck, give a guy a man a piece of wood and he can make anything. He taught me to stand up straight and not to slouch. He would sneak up behind me and grab me by the shoulders and pull me back just to make sure I was standing tall. That was until I got too tall and he couldn't reach. Papa stood up for us no matter what. I remember during one of my basketball games, he was almost thrown out because he started arguing with one of the parents and believed the ref was picking on me. And that was over, oh, Papa. But that was him. He was always looking out for us. When I think of Granny and Papa, all I think about is how much they loved each other. They showed their children, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, and the entire world what enduring love is. And it's a lesson we will never forget. I hope all these memories and dozens more so dear to me. I will miss him tremendously, but I know he's watching us, both him and Mom. I have a poem that I found that I thought would be fitting for today. Our grandfather kept a garden. Our grandfather kept a garden of the heart. He planted all the good things that gave our lives their start. He turned us to the sunshine and encouraged us to dream, fostering and nurturing the seeds of self-esteem. And then the winds and rains came. He protected us enough, but not too much because he knew we would stand up strong and tough. His constant good example always taught us right from wrong, markers of our pathway that will last a lifetime long. We are our grandfather's garden. We are his legacy. Thank you, Papa. We love you.
Good morning. I was raised that you always wore black to a funeral, but today I'm wearing brown, unless brown is fine. These comments are from Will and Ginny Nicholson. Russ was our brother-in-law, but in fact was more like a brother to us. Russ was such a kind, loving, fun, and handy person. When we lived in Delran, when anything would go wrong in our home and needed repairing, Russ would always take care of it for us. He probably did the same for some of you here this morning. One of our slogans in describing Russ was this: Russ, he's the man. If he can't do it, nobody can. That's just how handy he was. As most of you know, Russ was also a great storyteller. He would tell such funny stories about some of the pranks he and his co-workers would play on some of their fellow workers. And in the midst of telling the story, Russ would just break up, which would also break up those of us listening. Russ was also a man who deeply loved his family. And when you think of Russ, you also immediately think of Archie. Never have we known a couple who was more closely linked than Arch and Russ. you know who've been married for 71 beautifully blessed years. Even after all those years, when you saw Arch and Russ together, the love and passion that they exhibited for each other seemed more like a couple who was just recently married. The phrase most often used to describe them was, "What a fun and loving couple." The words in the marriage vow say, "To love and to cherish." And my, did Russ ever love and cherish Archie? How many men do you know who would go on a fishing trip to Canada and end up getting homesick for their wives? Well, that was Russ. He did. You are well aware that we could go on, and we are sure that you also have your own fond memories of Russ. Truly, he will be greatly missed by all of us. We are saddened by the passing of Russ, and also saddened that we cannot be with you, Arch, and the family. We pray that God will be with you today, and also pray that God will comfort you all the days to come. We love you.
Good morning. My name is Bob Moss, my wife Ellen. Our sincere condolences to the Brown family, and also condolences to Dan and Ryan and Morgan for the loss of Lisa. On behalf of Ellen, myself, Rosalie, and Ralph, we thank the Brown family for including us in so many of Russ and Archie's special celebrations over the years. It meant a lot to each of us. How would I describe Russ? A loyal friend. He was quiet, with a witty sense of humor. Russ had us laughing hysterically many times. Extremely handy. He completed many chores for Asbury, for his condo association in Florida, and for his friends and relatives. He was a Christian, with a very strong faith. We enjoyed attending services with him here at Asbury and in Florida at Faith Presbyterian on a regular basis. He was innovative. Many of us had made keepsakes he made for our remembrance. Russ was a hard worker. He very seldom slowed down, always looking for a way to improve something. He was a storyteller. We would spend most of New Year's Eves with Russ, Archie, Rosalie, and Ralph, and always looked forward to his very funny stories. If we missed something in his storytelling, not to worry, as he would be telling it again very soon. Russ loved Florida. We shared many activities in Cape Coral: fishing, crabbing, thrift store shopping, dining out, cookouts at the river. Arch, do you remember getting the last rose at the river? Okay. Church services, followed by breakfast out, and trips to Sandbell, just to mention a few. Many times in late afternoon or early evening, I would walk to Russ's condo, and he would be swimming laps in his pool. He would always tell me with pride on how many laps he completed. I would tease him and say, "Russ, this is not an Olympic-sized pool. You should be doing double that number." My next visit down to the pool in a day or two, you guessed it. Wow, I did twice as many today. Russ's love for Arch was so obvious in many ways. I noticed he always carried a comb but never used it. So one day I said, "Russ, why do you always have a comb?" He said, "In case Arch needed her hair fixed." I will always cherish my memories of Russ, and the one that sticks out the most is whenever we moved from one location to another, whether it be from the living room to the dining room table or the condo out to the pool, he would immediately go over to Archie, tenderly put his hand in hers, and not release it until we reached our destination. After 71 years of this, wow. Still newlyweds, what a blessing. Thank you, my friend. We love you. Rest in peace. God bless you.
I'm going to go with the Arch and Uncle Russ, even though they weren't even related to us. We had so many memories that I think about. Tina, the dachshund, who was really smart. I don't think Uncle Russ really liked dogs, but let them have Tina, and so that Diane would stop being Spot, the dog. Do you remember that? She played Spot for a long time. And Tina was so smart, used to brag because she would shoot a hole in there in linoleum, as I recall, under the kitchen table. But it had a good spin because it looked like the map of the United States. And that was things like that, things like the Ocean City Music Pier. When Uncle Russ and Dad came running out of the men's room and said, "Quick, hurry, let's run," because one of them, I think my dad, had missed the urinal. I got somebody else's pant bag. And New Year's Eve parties growing up as a kid, we had such fun, big, giant New Year's parties. Danny got tapped. I think it was a snowstorm outside and we weren't allowed out, so Diane and I and Freddie, Alberti, covered Danny with talcum powder so we could have our own little snowstorm in the house. And I never remember Uncle Russ getting like mad or angry. He was a real example of a fine husband and a great dad. And between him and my dad, that's what I aspired to have in my life one day. Because they were the examples that I wanted to follow in my life. So I just want to say thank you. And he always asked how I was, no matter what, even when I grew up and moved away. We'd be on the phone sometimes, and he would always make sure I knew that he loved me and asked how I was doing. And if Aunt Arch was on the phone, he'd be in the background making comments. And I just want to say that he was an exceptional man. Thanks.
Thank all who shared